lungs. I'm the smoke in the sky. I'm the gas in the tank. Gonna turn it up, turn it up. I'm hot to the touch, burning up. I'm hot, hot to the touch. I'm hot to the touch, burning up. I'm hot.
All right, so the hot three, guys. We got a good one this week. One that was really hard for me to choose, and that is sports movies. So I know there's about 1 billion sports movies out there.
There's so many.
I remember this afternoon, I was just going through, and I'm like, oh my god, like I didn't even know that. I completely forgot about that movie. And then there's that one, and then there's that one, and then there's that one.
Well, I found it hard because I almost look at there's funny sports movies like Happy Gilmore,
Yeah.
and then there's Rudy.
Yeah,
Like to me, those are almost two different genres, even though they're both sports movies. So it's it's hard to pick which direction you want to go.
yeah, it is tough.
But picking the top three,
This is the top three. This is the top three.
according to the Border Sports Cast.
This is the hot three. So, who started last week? Do we remember?
I don't think I did.
All right, we're gonna start with Bone then.
Oh, all right. Excellent.
Hot three sports movies.
Maybe I did. All right. So coming in at number 3, Goon.
Ooh,
Hockey movie, Sean William Scott. Hockey/enforcer fighting movie. Really funny. I don't know, just a good movie. You guys are looking off at something. I'm confused about what's going on.
why'd you turn the camera off?
I didn't. It's right there.
Goon was number 3. So,
Wait, what was it?
Goon.
Oh,
Goon.
It's a hockey movie. Have you seen it?
I don't think I've seen that
Okay.
one.
You've never seen Goon?
It's really good. I think it's really good.
Watch it. It might be in your hot 3.
Who's in Goon?
Sean William Scott. You know Stifler from American Pie?
Definitely.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic movie. Kenny's an idiot for not watching it. So,
It's good. I mean, I'm not really a big hockey fan, but I like that movie.
all
All right, so number 2, Southpaw.
Southpaw.
I had to put a boxing movie in here. I love Southpaw. Makes me cry every time his daughter yells at him. And it's just a great movie.
I love movies that make me cry.
Yeah.
I've only seen that once, and I actually
Pulls at the heartstrings. Yeah. Especially if you got kids or a daughter.
yeah. I'm gonna go watch it again now.
And then it's on Netflix, I believe, or Prime right now.
I'm in.
And then number
I
1.
have a son. Do I still get to watch it?
No,
Yeah,
you can't watch it.
you'll cry. You'll still cry.
Oh, okay, you can watch it. Hashtag girl dad.
Yeah. Number 1, but by far the best sports movie ever made is Remember the Titans.
Ooh, Remember the Titans. Nice.
Denzel, man, is just the boss in that movie, and then
Fantastic
just the whole,
soundtrack.
Just the time period. I don't know
Civil rights.
Exactly, and just the unity, and then the racial aspect of it, and just bringing everybody together. And
Yeah.
just how they do it, I thought was fantastic.
I'm not discounting the bringing everybody together and how great this movie is, but did you know that half the schools in their conference were also integrated, and they didn't put that in the movie?
Oh, really? I've
Yeah.
never looked up the real history of, or even if
It
the
just-
movie was based off anything. Honestly,
It's just
I've
one of
never
those
looked
things
it up, but
artistic liberties, but it made for a great movie.
it was a great feel good movie.
It was a great movie.
It was, one of my favorites too.
Denzel. There were just some great quotes in that movie too. Just Denzel.
Sunshine.
I
Yeah.
will bust my foot off in your John Brown ass.
I mean, when he wakes them up and makes them run, through the dark, like in the cemetery and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Because back when we were kids, we were playing football growing up, high school, middle school,
yeah.
whatever it was. That just gave you
You
chills. You're
just related so much
Yeah,
more
yeah.
to everything that was happening in that
You
movie.
jump off sides, you
Yeah.
run a mile. You fumble the ball, you run a mile.
Yes.
How many
Oh,
feet
man.
are in a mile, son? 5,280. You're going to run every one of them.
I like my favorite line of the whole movie. We blitz on every down. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Good
Don't
time.
give up another yard. Yeah.
Underrated movie. I actually didn't. This is what I'm talking about. When I was looking through mine, it didn't. I didn't cross that one until
was-
the end of it, and I was like, I should put that in there, but I kind of like my list. So
That was definitely on my top 5. I was having a hard time with that one.
yeah.
Should I
So-
give any honorable mentions?
not yet. Not yet. Wait till we see if any of
Wait
them are
till
on
the
ours.
end. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good-
So,
good call, good call.
Kenny, what's your hot 3?
My hot 3. Let me find it.
Number 3.
Number 3 obviously is Rocky 4 because it ended the Cold War. any movie that literally ends
If I could change,
diplomatic
and you could change,
diplomatic affair.
we all could change.
Yeah, Ivan Drago, the evil Russian, and just the way that the whole crowd in Russia goes to start chanting
Rocky,
USA, America
Rocky.
stuff. Yeah, for Rocky. Just my favorite Rocky movie of all of them. Let's be honest. Like Ivan Drago was the best bad guy in all those movies too. Like,
Oh yeah,
if he dies, he dies. Like, just absolute menace. So yeah, Rocky 4 is my number 3. Number 2, look, I know this one has lost its luster a little bit given some of the stuff that's come out, but it's Blindside.
Good movie.
It's just every time it's on TV, I'll watch it. It's just a good story. Even if you separated the truth from the fiction of it and just said, it's just a movie about a football. Like it holds up.
that's kind of where I'm at. Like that's what I was saying about Remember the Titans. Like, yeah, sure, it's a little bit different, but it's a great movie.
And
it's a great movie.
And like, look, and I'm skeptical of the claims of this whole thing, right? Because like, a lot of this I think has to do with Michael Orr's financial situation, and like, it sounds like there was
It's a little sketchy.
Money
It's a little
and
sketchy.
things, and he was for the movie and friends with the Tuohys before he was against it. You know, like it wasn't like he was striking against the movie when it was being made and standing outside being like, "Don't watch this movie; it's not real."
Yeah.
He was for it and for the book and all that stuff before he was against it. So to me,
that's fair.
This seems like
Yeah.
the claims of any wrongdoing here kind of fall on deaf ears.
You want to hear a fun fact about The Blind Side?
Sure.
It's actually the Blind Side movie is one of the reasons that my wife knew she was pregnant before we knew she was pregnant, is because we were watching The Blind Side.
She cried when Michael threw that kid out of the stadium.
Like instantly, like the first scene where it's even a little bit emotional, where it's showing him like on hard times and stuff. She was just bawling her eyes. And she was like, it happened like 6 times throughout the movie. She's like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Maybe I'm pregnant. I just watched it the other day and I was a little teary-eyed.
Yeah, and so by the end of the movie, though, she was like, I think I might be pregnant.
And the other thing is, like, Sandra Bullock's never looked better.
Oh, no, it is a good movie for her. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
She looked
My
phenomenal.
wife's telling me that she might be pregnant, and I'm like, Sandra Bullock looks pretty good.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
as a blonde.
Yeah.
And who played, was that Tim McGraw?
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw, yeah.
It's so funny because if you look at Sean Tuohy in real life, like, he's kind of this stocky fella, like, kind of stocky.
Doesn't look anything like Tim
Nothing
McGraw.
like Tim McGraw. But Tim McGraw, I mean, look, it's hard to find a fault in a movie that has a guy as handsome as Tim McGraw and Sandra Bullock as your lead.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Tim McGraw is honestly, he's in a few movies and he's underrated as an actor because he's got like in most of the movies he's in, he has a couple serious roles, but he plays quite a few funny characters
Yeah.
where it's like the quick one-liners and they're just so
Yeah.
good. They're like, and this one was perfect because he was like a dad, so they're just like the dumbest lines.
I also, too, recently, because I just watched it recently, kind of did some research just on the Tuohy family, and I don't know how I missed this in the movie because they did like briefly mention it. Like I was kind of like, they have a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And I was always kind of like, they seem, they drive nice cars and they have a nice house. And I was kind of like, they're like well to do. I didn't realize
They're doing all right.
how much money they have.
A lot.
They had a lot of money.
Yeah.
He owned like 114 Taco Bell franchises.
Whoa.
You'd never know it by looking at Tim McGraw.
and he's the play-by-play voice of the Memphis Grizzlies for the last 20 years.
Really?
Like, they have money.
So not only did they have money, but they were well connected.
Yeah. So it just like it never came, like I never realized that for the movie. I was always kind of like, and I always kind of wondered like what really was their financial deal? Like she kind of works at home and does like decorating, and they never really like came out and said. But the next time I watched it over, there was some talk about like, yeah, we get free food from Taco Bell all the time, and I was like, how did I miss that? Because they said like they own it. But
Well, it is like a subtle like that they throw it in there, but it's not.
yeah, like it wasn't a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
But then when I was like, man, they owned 100 fast food restaurants. Like they had
That'll do it.
money.
That'll do it.
So anyway,
Yeah. What's your
Blindside,
number one?
Number 2. And then number 1 for me is Any Given Sunday.
Ooh, nice. I'll be honest, I completely forgot about this one, but go on.
The cast in this movie is
Fantastic.
mind-blowing. Pacino, Cameron Diaz, Dennis Quaid, James Woods, Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J, Charlton Heston, and older Anne Margaret, Aaron Eckhart, Lauren Hawley from Dumb and Dumber, Lloyd's love affair in Dumb and Dumber, Lawrence Taylor, Jim Brown, And a bunch of other like NFL celebrities made cameos in this thing, but just an outstanding cast, beginning to end. Willie Steeman Beeman, the whole it was all
Willie Beeman.
It was all the things that like the NFL kind of like runs from, like the cars and the women and the jewelry and the drugs and
cocaine
and the absolute violence, violence of the game. Like that's what that movie was like. Those guys were just ready to just tear people apart.
Well, that's why the NFL wanted no part of it, and they were the Sharks.
Yeah, it was just such a good mix of all those things. And Pacino gives one of the best, just like speeches in the end of that game about we fight for every inch. Look at the man next to you, and look at the man next to him, and you gotta fight for those inches together. That whole thing.
Good Pacino voice, not bad.
Yeah, he gets deep on it. He's like, I lost everything, I made a bunch of bad decisions, but life is a game of inches. So just for me, that kind of brings the whole thing full circle.
Hell yes. I love Any Given Sunday. I'm embarrassed that I forgot about that movie while I was thinking of these. But no, so I'll start with my number 3 here. We're Cleveland fans.
Yes.
So I went with Major League for number 3.
Smart choice.
Nice.
Just one of the funniest movies in general, but definitely one of the funniest baseball movies ever made.
Another good cast in that too.
Yeah. Really good cast. And I feel like it's so relatable in Cleveland when you're talking about the baseball team, because as much as we talk about how well run that organization is and how they may have some down years, they always seem to be in the thick of things, and they make some runs here and there. But it does feel occasionally when they are having those down years, like the owner doesn't want to spend any money, it doesn't want to do anything, and so you can really relate to this movie. Basically from start to finish, like the owner comes in and basically wants to tank everything and get rid of the team. So
you are speaking of the Cleveland Indians, right?
In Major League. Cleveland
you just
Guardians.
you've avoided saying the name, so I just wanted to throw it out there. During that movie, it was
the Indians. Yes,
that's right.
Yes.
That's a good point, Bone. I mean, it's.
I was just using baseball team, so I didn't have to go back and forth.
It's one of the finite reminders in time that, like, as much as they want to kind of like whitewash this thing with Guardians and pretend like the Indians' name never happened, like
they made a movie about us.
For that movie will stand the test of time.
Yeah,
because it's funny.
It's classic.
They are the Indians, and people are
wow.
Like, who are the Indians?
Yeah,
I was just being old man. Get off my lawn. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I actually didn't even notice I was doing it. That's why I think it was more of a. I don't want to say Indians, Guardians, and go back and forth when I'm talking about whatever. But number 2, The Replacements. Just
movie. Another
fantastic soundtrack too. Just all the way through. It was really, really good. Keanu Reeves, we're used to him as like an action star now. He plays a lot of John Wick. He does a couple other movies. Matrix, like all those things. But people, this is what he was doing. He was doing The Replacements before he got to
comedy.
And I guess he plays more of a serious role in this than most of the rest of the cast. But he still has his one-liners in this, and he actually delivers them pretty well. Keanu Reeves, not the greatest actor, beloved actor, not the greatest actor. But no, this movie is just funny start to finish. And the idea of replacement players coming in and when the main guys won't cross the picket line to finish the season is it was an awesome story. Another feel-good movie. It's
a good movie.
And it had Madden and Summerall, I think, were in that. The commentary section. She's like, you had some cameos from.
Well, he comes around here, bam! And he juggles a football and it goes all over the ground.
The only thing I didn't like about that movie is towards the end, and I mean, forgive me for spoilers. The movie's 25 years old.
If you haven't seen it, you're wrong.
I was always when he stands up his love interest in the end of the movie, I was always just like, man, why'd you do that? I know he was upset because the guy came back and he was not going to get to play anymore. But it's like he went to the bar to tell his friends, gave them the respect of showing up and being like, I'm not going to play anymore. And then he's supposed to have dinner with that chick and just totally blows her off
because the main guy that came back told him she's too good for you.
Yeah.
You need to just walk away and let it end.
They had a thing going, though.
I'm with you, though. I'm with you.
It was just a mean thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. Bad job out of you, Keanu Reeves. if there's one thing that lessens my respect for you, it's standing up that girl in The Replacements. And then finally, number 1 here, Rocky IV. You already said it for your number 3. It's my number 1. It ended a Cold War. It's the only movie that's ended a war.
That's right.
So it has to be number 1.
Yeah,
Ivan Drago. I just all the same things that you said. It was just classic. And I know Rocky 1 is actually considered by a lot of people one of the greatest sports movies of all time, like top 3.
Sure.
Launched Sylvester Stallone's career, wrote it, starred in it, did everything, did it himself when nobody else would fund it. So, that whole story is great. But let's be honest, Rocky 4 is where the actual story's at, and where it's a lot more fun to watch Rocky 4 than Rocky 1.
And that's why I think Rocky 4 is so much better, actually, is because, like, by the time they had made Rocky 4, Sylvester had become a household name. They had money to make that movie. Like when they made Rocky 1, the funds were low. There weren't a lot of people that were interested in making that script. And then it caught fire. It became this huge sensation. So like, by the time they got to Rocky 4, this was a freight train from hell. Like there was money.
It's kind of like the Burning River Sportscast.
Yeah. It was just so much more well done, like the finished product.
Something I would have never guessed, that Rocky 4 is like Burning River Sportscast.
We're basically one and the same.
Freight train from hell.
We might end the tensions in the Middle East. You never know.
Wow.
We tried to stop.
We're just bringing people together.
We tried to stop an assassination to start the show.
Yeah. So that's the hot 3.